Math lesson number 29, adding and subtracting radicals. We add and subtract radicals the way we add and subtract polynomials. Only like terms in addition and subtraction of radicals can be combined. How do we know like terms? Radical expressions are called like terms if they have the same radicand and index. Examples: square root of 5 and 3 square root of 5. So as you can see, the index of square root of 5 is 2, 3 square root of 5 is 2, radicand is 5. So square root of 5 and 3 square root of 5 are like terms. Another example, 4 cube root of 3 and 12 cube root of 3. So the index 3 is the same, and then the radicand 3 is also the same. So only the coefficients are added and or subtracted. Let's have examples. Number 1, negative square root of 7 plus 3 square root of 5 plus 9 square root of 7 minus square root of 5. So we will combine similar terms, negative square root of 7 plus 9 square root of 7 and then 3 square root of 5 minus square root of 5. So negative square root of 7 plus 9 square root of 7 is 8 square root of 7. So all you need to do is to combine the coefficients. The coefficient here is negative 1 and here is 9. So negative 1 plus 9 is 8. Next, the coefficient here is 3 and the coefficient here is 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So the final answer is 8 square root of 7 plus 2 square root of 5. Now you cannot combine 8 square root of 7 and 2 square root of 5 because they have different radicands. This one is 7 and this one is 5. So you cannot combine them. They are not like terms. Number 2, 8 square root of 24 plus 3 square root of 6 minus 4 square root of 54. So first we need to simplify square root of 24, and that is 8 times square root of 4 times square root of 6. Why square root of 4? Because 4 is a perfect square factor of 24. And then 3 square root of 6 and then 4 square root of 54. Square root of 54 is square root of 9 times square root of 6. Why square root of 9? Why we use 9? Because 9 is a perfect square factor of 54. Now simplifying all that, we have 8 square root of 4 is 2, considering the principal root, and then square root of 6, 3 square root of 6, and then 4 times square root of 9 is 3, and then plug in square root of 6. Simplifying again, 8 times 2, 16, square root of 6, 3 square root of 6, and then 4 times 3 is 12 square root of 6. Now as you can see, the radicand is 2, the radicand is 6, and the index is 2. So we can combine the coefficients. 16 plus 3 is 19, minus 12 is 7. So the final answer is 7 square root of 6. Next, number 3. 3a square root of 7a cubed plus 2a squared square root of 28a minus a square root of 9a. Now as you can see, they have different radicands, but let's simplify first. Okay, so 3a, this one, the first term, 3a square root of a squared is a perfect square factor of a cubed, and then what is left is square root of 7a. Next, 2a squared is the coefficient, and then 28 has a factor of 4, which is a perfect square. So square root of 4, and then what is left is square root of 7a, because 4 times 7a is 28a. Now, square root of 9a here, we know that square root of 9 is a perfect square. So, we will separate them. A square root of 9 times square root of a. Now, let's simplify. 3a, square root of a squared is a. Then plug in square root of 7a. Now, 2a squared, square root of 4 is 2. And then plug in square root of 7a. Minus a square root of 9 is 3. And then plug in square root of a. Now, 3a times a is 3a squared. Square root of 7a, plug in. And then 2a squared times 2 is 4a squared. Plug in again square root of 7a. A times 3 is 3a. Plug in square root of a. Now, we can combine 3a squared and 4a squared because the radical has, in the radicand here is 7a, and the radicand here is also 7a. So we can combine. And the index here is 2, the index here is 2. So we can combine the coefficients, 3a squared and 4a squared. So 3a squared plus 4a squared is 7a squared. Plug in the radical, 7 square root of 7a. And then minus 3a square root of a. Now, as you can see, square root of 7a and square root of a have different radicands. So we cannot combine the radical expressions. So that's it. That's the final answer. Number 4. 3 cube root of 16 minus 5 cube root of 54. So as you can see, they have the same index, which is 3, but they have different radicands. So let's simplify first. So cube root of 16 can be turned into cube root of 8 times cube root of 2. Why cube root of 8? Because 8 is a perfect cube factor of 16. Okay, on the other side, we have cube root of 27 times cube root of 2. Why cube root of 27? Because 27 is a perfect cube factor of 54. Let's simplify. 3 is 3. Cube root of 8 is 2. And then plug in cube root of 2. Here, we have 5. Cube root of 27 is 3. Cube root of 2 is cube root of 2. Now, 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. We can combine because they have the same index, which is 3, and same radicand, which is 2. So, 6 minus 15 is negative 9. Plug in the radical, cube root of 2. Number 5. Square root of 5x squared plus square root of 20x squared. So they have different radicands. But let's simplify first. Square root of 5x squared is square root of 5 times square root of x squared. Why is square root of x squared? As you can see, x squared is a perfect square factor of 5x squared. Here, we have square root of 5 times square root of 4x squared. 4x squared is a perfect square factor of 20x squared. Now, let's simplify. This is square root of 5, square root of 5. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 5, square root of 5. Square root of 4x squared is 2x. We can combine them because they have the same index and same radicand. So, x plus 2x is 3x. Plug in the radical, square root of 5. Number 6, square root of 36x cubed plus square root of 64x cubed minus x square root of 9xy. Let's simplify first. Square root of 36x cubed is square root of 36x squared times square root of x. As you can see, 36x squared is a perfect square factor of this radicand. Now, second term, square root of 64x squared is a perfect square factor of this. 9 is a perfect square factor of this. Simplifying, square root of 36x squared is 6x. And then this one is this one. Square root of 64x squared is 8x. Plug in square root of x. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 times x is 3x. Plug in square root of xy. Simplifying, we can combine this. So 6x plus 8x is 14x. Plug in the radical, square root of x. Minus 3x square root of xy. So we cannot combine this. So this is now the final answer.